And we begin tonight with breaking news. A 12-year-old girl swept away by flood waters in the high country was found dead by searchers this afternoon. Very sad news to report. Good evening, Arizona. I'm Patty Kirkpatrick. Jerry Blair with the Coconino County Sheriff's Department joins us on the phone right now with the latest information. Jerry, can you tell us what happened to this little girl?
Yes, we received a call at about 2:18 p.m. today, and Shaylin reportedly had fallen into a wash that is located south of the White Vulcan mine, located off of Forest Service Road 420. And the information we got was from Shaylin's father that after the rains, there was a heavy wash that Shaylin and her sister went down to look at. Several minutes later, Shaylin's sister returned to her father to advise that Shaylin had fallen in. The father frantically searched for the child and then called the sheriff's office. We then mounted a search effort involving foot searchers from our search and rescue group, rapid water rescue folks from the Flagstaff Fire Department, and the Arizona Department of Public Safety helicopter. Shortly after that, the father reported that he did find the child further down the a stream from where she had fallen in. She was transported to the Flagstaff Medical Center, where she was subsequently pronounced deceased.
Yeah, Jerry, we of course don't want to identify this little girl since she is a minor, but this happened just north of Flagstaff in the area where the Schultz fire burned in the Timberline neighborhood, is that right?
Yes, it's off of North Highway 89 in the greater Timberline neighborhood area.
And 89 is closed at this point. How long do you think it will be closed?
You know, we don't know. The reason that 89 was closed is because the waters have actually crossed 89 at least two different points. We anticipate it could cross at an additional place. So it is closed at Silver Saddle Road, and then the northern point is at the entrance to the Sunset Crater National Monument.
Right, that's the same area as was closed in the Schultz fire. So how long a stretch of highway is that?
You know, I don't know exactly how far it is, but it's probably a good 10 or 15 miles.
Okay, and what about other people impacted by this flash flooding? Any other water rescues, or what about evacuation?
You know, in that Timberline area, because the flash floods come so quickly sometimes, we advise people to go to high ground, get on the roofs of their buildings, or and certainly not to enter or try to cross rapidly moving water. We do have ground searchers going in to check on people in flooded areas. We're also flying the area trying to get an assessment of how many folks are in need. Some folks have been evacuated already and are being located at a Red Cross shelter located at Cromer School. That's within Coconino County.
Jerry Blair with the Coconino County Sheriff's Department. I'm sure you're very busy up there. I appreciate your taking the time to talk with us this evening. Important information to get out there. In addition, Jared Dillingham, our reporter, is also live in the area in the high country with more on this breaking story. Jared.
Well, Patty, word of this little girl's death is starting to spread through the group of people who we've been stranded with just south of the flood zone. A lot of these people lived in the same neighborhood as her. Heard there had been some sort of search and rescue going on, and we're simply devastated to hear that a 12-year-old little girl, one of their neighbors, was swept away and killed by these floodwaters this afternoon. As soon as this rain started, many of these people, dozens of them, fled. They seemed to know what was coming. They heeded the evacuation warnings and left for higher ground. They've been waiting by the side of the highway here where it's been closed now for several hours. And actually, ADOT is just now reopening, or seems to be reopening, this stretch of Highway 89. So a lot of people will be heading home now and starting to survey the damage done. When they left this afternoon, many of them told us their homes were still surrounded by sandbags and other barriers. They've been hoping that these barriers would be enough to keep the water away, but according to this video that we're seeing from the helicopter and our ground crews on scene in the flood zone, these barriers were simply not enough to contain these fierce floodwaters that ripped through the neighborhood this afternoon. Really just a horrible month for the people in this community north of Flagstaff.